Hi there, I'm Dylan Santos, and today I'm going to take you on a tour of Grapevine. Grapevine is located in northern Texas. It's a suburb between Dallas and Fort Worth and has a population of 50,000 residents. It's known for its historic downtown, 2 large resort hotels, a man-made lake, an indoor outlet mall, and all 5 DFW airport terminals. Today we're going to explore several parts of Grapevine, including downtown, the resort hotels, and a few other parts of town as well. This is Grapevine Main Street Station, a stop along Trinity Metro Tex Rail. That's a commuter rail line running between downtown Fort Worth and DFW Airport. This is also home base to the Grapevine Vintage Railroad, which is a weekend leisure train to the Fort Worth stockyards. The south end of Grapevine Main Street Station opens up to the newly opened Peace Plaza. It features tables, chairs, and a fountain in the middle that people can run through. On the opposite corner of the plaza is Peace Circle, which depicts the 1843 meeting of Texas President Sam Houston and the chiefs of 10 Native American tribes. It took place in this area. The building fronting the plaza is Grapevine Main, which features 4 components, including an observation tower, a food hall called Harvest Hall, a hotel called Hotel Vin, and a parking garage. Let's take a look inside. Behind Harvest Hall is Hotel Vin, an autograph collection hotel. Now we'll head back towards the plaza entrance and head up the elevator to the observation tower. The first view you get once you reach the top is the westward view, which is towards Fort Worth. If you look down, you get an overhead view of Peace Plaza and Tex Rail. And if you look off in the distance, you can see the Fort Worth skyline. If you start turning clockwise towards the north, you'll see the heart of downtown Grapevine. And if you look north past downtown Grapevine, you'll see Grapevine Lake. If you continue turning clockwise, you'll see 2 large resort hotels, the Gaylord Texan Resort and the Great Wolf Lodge. We'll be taking a closer look at those resorts later on. If you look due east, you'll see the hotel underneath and the parking garage at the back of the building. And if you look off in the distance, you'll see the Dallas skyline and Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. And if you continue turning clockwise, you'll be facing southward. If you look closely on the horizon, you'll see AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys. Now let's head back downstairs. The new Peace Plaza and the Grapevine Main Street development sits at the intersection of Main Street and Dallas Road. Dallas Road leads to the city of, you guessed wrong, Fort Worth. We'll continue north on Main Street towards the heart of downtown Grapevine. We return to the railroad tracks. This corridor was originally built in the late 1800s as the Cotton Belt route. On the other side of the railroad tracks is a sculpture called Coming Home, which depicts a soldier returning from war. Across the street is Master Made Feeds, an animal feed store that also sells decor, I think. I'll admit, I have no idea whether to consider the stuff behind me trashy junk or cool knickknacks. On this side of the road is the Vitro Glassblowing Studio. Hey, wait a minute, what's that behind us? Oh, it's Tex Rail again. Hi, Tex Rail. Anyway, let's continue north on Main Street. This intersection is Hudkins Road, and that tower is the Glockenspiel Clock Tower, which features the animatronic would-be train robbers. As we continue north on Main Street, we come upon the first of many wineries on Main Street, Wine Fusion. Across the street is a Warhammer store. As we continue north on Main Street, we approach College Avenue and the J.E. Faust & Son Funeral Home. On the north end of the property, they display a hearse and child's coffin from the early 1900s. On the west side of Main Street, we encounter more businesses. Eventually, we encounter Will Hoyt's Restaurant. It was built as a dry food store in 1914. It was converted to a garage in 1919 and a garage-themed restaurant in 1981. As we continue north on Main Street, we reach Franklin Street, which features Tolbert's Chili Parlor, which features a mural depicting the settlement of Grapevine. As we continue north on Main Street, we come upon another winery. The next street we approach is Worth Street, which does not lead to Fort Worth, nor does it lead to Dallas. And this business is Grapevine's Market on Main gift shop. This store has some of the same moving objects that the Master-Made feed store had back there. This here is Town Square Gazebo, which sometimes features live music. Now you may have noticed the grass behind this gazebo is very green, and there's a reason for that. It's synthetic. As you continue north on Main Street, you come upon the Lancaster Theater and the Palace Theater. These two theaters are part of the Palace Arts Center, which showcases live music, live performances, and classic movies. The next intersection is Texas Street, where you'll find the Manissa Hoff Winery, and it has a statue out front called Sidewalk Judge, and he's here now to tell us what Grapevine is known for. Yep, it's wine, which is why there are so many wineries here in Grapevine. And just past the Manissa Hoff Winery is a park, with a log cabin on it. And here's something real interesting about the Torian log cabin. It was originally built 4 miles away from here in roughly 1845. It was physically moved to this location in 1976. Across the street from the Torian log cabin is Grapevine City Hall, which was built in 1997. The second to last intersection on our tour of Grapevine is Wall Street, and the last intersection is Northwest Highway. And as we pan to the left a little bit, Country Donuts. It was the first business to receive business from a Texrail passenger on the day Texrail opened. And that would be yours truly. And that concludes our tour of downtown. Up next is the city's resort hotels. We'll start along Northwest Highway. The Great Wolf Lodge is a resort that caters towards children. It has a large indoor water park. The red and yellow thing you see on the left is part of a fancy water slide. Now let's back to Northwest Highway. This is where the driveway for the Great Wolf Lodge meets the driveway for the Gaylord Texan Resort. The water park for the resort is just past the sign. This is the Paradise Springs Water Park. Now you may be wondering, why is there a faux blue and white trolley? Well, that's because the water park is nearly a mile from the hotel itself. But it's a pleasant day and the sidewalks are wide, so we'll walk over there. After a few minutes, we reach a portion of Grapevine Lake. And off to the right is a small marina. Eventually, we reach the entrance of the convention center. We're almost there, bear with me. And here we are. We finally made it to the entrance of the Gaylord Texan Resort. Now we didn't walk all this way just to see the exterior. Let's go inside. And that concludes our tour of the city's resort hotels. Here are a few more parts of Grapevine before we part ways. This here is Lakeview Park. This is one of several parks along Grapevine Lake that you can swim at. And this is the view from Founders Plaza at DFW Airport. This is in the southeastern portion of Grapevine, looking southeast towards the runways. And that concludes our tour of Grapevine. Thanks for watching, and perhaps I'll see you on another city tour.